Hi, it's Melissa here, and today I have a layout that I made for the sketch reveal this week over at Let's Get Sketchy. So that is the sketch, and it features a starburst. So what I did was use a cut file from the cut shop called Starburst. I wanted to, I guess, take a not a literal approach, but I didn't want to just do pattern paper showing like on the sketch. So I thought the cut file was a great idea, and of course, I just love Ashley's cut files, they're amazing. And so I'm using the Amy Tangerine Better Together collection for the papers. And I went with a colour I don't usually use, which is green, because the photo has green in it. Not the same green as this, but more of a kind of a ferny green, and I thought it would look good paired with the photo. So now I'm working on the layers behind the photo. And there was quite a large banner, and I didn't want it too large, I just wanted it a lot smaller. And then I decided to mat my photo on this XOXO paper, which is probably one of my favourite papers of the entire collection, that and the floral. And so I positioned the photo where I wanted it. I didn't want a whole lot of green to be showing, so I positioned it so that the photo had, I think it's like a bluey purple and yellow underneath it. So this photo is an odd shape. It's a selfie that my friend, who's centre front of the photo, she took this, and so when I printed it, I think I took it off Facebook. Anyway, when I printed it, it came out in this funny shape, so I decided just to go with it. So here I'm trimming off some of that paper because I didn't need to glue the whole sheet down, so I've just cut some out. And then I went around the edge with double-sided tape and just made sure that the edges were stuck down. Sorry, I'm having computer issues. So here I'm sticking my layers down, and I did think about having that plaid background, but I decided it was too much green. This photo is of some of the class. I was taking an adult ballet class, and I started, excuse me, in October last year, and in November we had a show. So crazy, really. I didn't have much time. I'd never done ballet before, always wanted to do it as a kid, but never had the chance to do it. And so I joined the class, and I think it worked out that I had about 10 weeks of, from going from no ballet to performing in the show at the end of the year. So we were, excuse me, my voice is terrible. I've still got this horrible cough. We were elves, excuse me, from Lord of the Rings, and we danced to music from Lord of the Rings and Game of Thrones, and it was an amazing experience. It was a really scary experience to start with because I just couldn't believe that I could pull it off, but I've got a lot of dance in my background, just not ballet, so it was amazing. We did it. Most of us were probably freaked out by having to perform in front of full audience, and we were the only adult number in the whole show. The rest were kids, probably from toddlers right up to, I don't know, teenagers. So it was 2 shows and pretty packed out, and this photo was just a quick selfie that we had in the dressing room, and I love it. It's a moment I will never ever forget. So now I am embellishing, and I'm using Fancy Free by Paige Evans with Pink Paisley. I won a whole lot of embellishments from that collection, but I've never been able to get the papers. So I'd been holding on to them for quite a long time, and then I just realised that they went really well together with the Better Together collection. So I wanted to use that So Happy piece from the ephemera pack, but it's just fading away. It's too dominated by the green, and it was the perfect sentiment to describe how we were feeling in this photo. And I really wanted to make it work, but in the end I thought it wasn't bold enough. So I'm just playing around with the embellishments, and there's a lot of fussing because I don't pre-plan the embellishing of a layout when I film it, so I'm just playing around and seeing what works with what, really. So I'm having to keep stopping the recording of this video to cough, which is incredibly annoying. So this is the puffy sticker pack, which is beautiful, and I always have trouble when embellishment packs are so beautiful because I don't want to open them. But I think I went with a sticker that said favourite or most favourite. And these hearts I had cut with one of my Tim Holtz Sizzix dies. I cut them a long time ago, like a few months ago, and I've just had them sitting on that dish, and because they are from the Better Together papers, I want to use some of them up because I did cut so many of them. So the sketch had showed stars coming down onto the starburst, but I've already got stars, so I just decided to go with hearts. So just applying, adhering the last one, and with this little selfie piece of acetate, it was perfect since our photo was a selfie. So all I did was put a staple in it and then just adhere it with some double-sided tape over the silver part that you can't see the double-sided tape. So now I'm using some of these beautiful buttons, and I just love them. I adhere them with a glue dot, and in retrospect I wish I hadn't done that because I go back and hand stitch them. I do that off camera, and it ended up just with me. Oh no, I didn't. Sorry, I'm talking about another layout I made. Coming up. Okay, and the last one, I adhered them with glue dots and then sewed through them and ended up with a gummy needle. So I learned, and then with this one I just did a little bit of Tombow, and I'll stitch them off camera. Excuse me, what you can't see is I just stapled on the word dream. And then I went into my stash and grabbed these stickers. I think they're called Alex, and I love the font. I love that some of the letters are filled in. And I just thought I'll call it Show Day because it was. And I love the way that the darker pink looks with the green and yellow, and also the lighter pink. And so it's always good to get into your stash and use things up. And I just added my journaling, and I had quite a lot to say about this one because it's the only photo I have of us, and just recording a little bit about the day. And I finished it up with some black Heidi Swap Colour Shine. So I hope you enjoyed this one, and I'll be back again really soon. Take care.